The greatest myth in the WNBA dump has officially been exposed. The myth of all myths, the deception of deception. For the better part of 2 years, maybe even 3 years, the mainstream media has been trying to convince us that Angel Reese is a huge star.
For months, a carefully constructed narrative dominated every screen, every sports headline, every WNBA highlight package. Angel Reese was the new face of the league. Media outlets labeled her a generational star. Endorsements flowed like water. Social media platforms plastered her image across timelines as if there was no debate. But now the truth has arrived, and it came from the fans themselves. Despite all the corporate backing, despite being front and center in every campaign, Reese didn't even crack the top 10 in All-Star voting.
Well, the first returns are coming in on the WNBA All-Star voting. Of course, it will be in Indianapolis. And as you can imagine, Caitlin Clark is leading the All-Star vote. By the way, it looks like a massive turnout.
A player once propped up as the league savior just got passed over by rookies and role players. The gap wasn't close. It wasn't a miss. It was a message. The fans have drawn a line between hype and substance. Like subscribe and comment, baby goat over baby giraffe, if results speak louder than slogans. Because this isn't just about all-star voting anymore. It's about exposing who really moves the WNBA forward.
Be honest. Second straight year that Clark has led the fan voting. She was second in early returns in fan voting in 2024, but jumped to first with around 700,000 total votes by the end of the period. So I'm wondering, are we going to see 1 million votes this time? Because I saw somebody earlier that said so far voting is actually way up versus exactly where we was at this time last year.
The story began long before the first All-Star ballot was cast. Angel Reese wasn't just promoted, she was manufactured. Major sports platforms treated her like a franchise cornerstone before she even found consistency on the court. Forbes called her the engine of WNBA growth. Talk shows handed her the title of Face of the League without pause. Magazine covers, podcast features, ad campaigns. She was everywhere. But while the spotlight blazed on her image, something else quietly unraveled. Behind the endorsements and the viral clips was a player shooting just 30.9% from the field.
Caitlin Clark has 3 times the amount of votes. 3 times the amount of votes as Angel Reese. So, there you go. I suspect Sophie Cunningham's numbers are going to grow after what we've seen. Somebody said, I saw some things online about they sold $1 million worth of Sophie Cunningham jerseys, and something in the neighborhood of 12,000 all went out one day.
While Reese was praised for charisma and marketability, her production never matched the attention. The discrepancy between what was said and what was seen grew wider with every game. This wasn't a gradual shift, it was a full-blown branding campaign that treated popularity as performance. But as the votes rolled in, it became clear. Fans had been watching closely, and they weren't buying the illusion.
Some in the media even do investigative journalism and claim that Angel Reese is the face of the WNBA because she leads the league in followers on social media, along with missed layups and a complete lack of athleticism. Of course, the vast majority of her followers are bots and lonely men, most of which are not buying tickets or watching her games on television because they can't afford the 5 pesos a month to watch the Chicago Bravado on WNBA League Pass.
When the first wave of WNBA All-Star voting results dropped, it didn't just shift the conversation. It blew the entire media script wide open. Caitlin Clark, in her first season, didn't just top the ballot, she buried the competition. With over 516,000 fan votes, Clark more than tripled the total earned by Angel Reese, who sat with just 173,000, barely enough to scrape into 13th place. That wasn't a difference, it was a canyon, and it told a story the headlines never did. This wasn't just about preference, it was a verdict.
There's a supposed, people keep telling me, supposed second most popular player in the league that doesn't look like the second most popular player at all. And in fact, a rookie I have been touting that that is playing better than Angel Reese, Kiki Iriafen. Well, basketball fans are showing up, and they have got her voted ahead of Angel right now. Angel is not in the top 10.
The public had been force-fed a narrative, one that painted Reese as the main attraction, the player driving fan interest and league excitement. But when the fans were finally given the chance to speak, they didn't whisper. They shouted. The All-Star vote wasn't just a tally of names. It became a referendum on authenticity, on who earned the hype and who merely had it handed to them. And when the ballots were counted, Angel Reese was nowhere near the throne she'd been gifted.
According to Forbes, Caitlin Clark is not responsible for elevating this turd into the mainstream. The ladies responsible for elevating the WNBA are Angel Reese and the unknown face of the Las Vegas Anonymous Faces.
What happened in the All-Star vote wasn't just a slip. It was an uprising. For months, Reese's face appeared on everything from sneaker ads to Times Square billboards. Her social media engagement skyrocketed. Her interviews were framed as iconic. Yet when fans finally had the power to respond, their answer was deafening silence.
Hi, Angel. David Moses with the Bigs Media. Last year, you made a powerful statement saying the reason people are watching women's basketball is not just because of one player, but because of you too. A year later, do you feel like you're
Next
getting...
question.
Yeah, we'll move on. Thank you. Move on to Zoom.
Reese's 13th place finish wasn't just a snub. It was a full rejection of the media's handpicked poster child. While major outlets hyped her nonstop and glossed over her on-court struggles, fans tuned into games and noticed what the cameras tried to ignore: missed layups, defensive lapses, and inefficient offense.
Angel Reese is the most unskilled basketball player in the history of basketball, in my opinion.
Even when names like Clark, Boston, and Collier were left out of major narratives, their highlights and numbers couldn't be denied, and the fans didn't deny them. This wasn't just a vote, it was a recalibration. A reality check that exposed the growing divide between what's promoted and what's real. Fans didn't follow the script, they rewrote it entirely.
Enough to tell you where Angel Reese's place is. Well, it's 13th place. And I can tell you right now, Jonquel Jones ought to be ahead of her.
In the WNBA, where every possession matters, image can only carry a player so far. Angel Reese brought the swagger, the headlines, and the crowd-pleasing sound bites, but the numbers told a different story. A 30.9% shooting percentage from a field isn't just below average, it's bottom tier, especially for a post player whose shots come near the basket. While the media highlighted her rebounding, analysts quickly pointed out that many of those boards came off her own misses, what fans now mockingly call me-bounds.
There is obviously no way Angel can compare to Caitlin Clark as a shooter or a passer. And there is no way Angel can live up to her dynamic social media / podcast presence as a shooter or a passer or even a shot blocker. She's blocked only 2 shots so far this season. She doesn't even do that.
Meanwhile, Clark was launching 30-foot daggers and breaking assist records with surgical precision. One was trending for missed shots and viral tweets, the other for game-winning plays and league-altering highlights. The contrast couldn't have been clearer. Fans aren't just watching for flair, they're watching for results. While Reese brought a brand, Clark brought a body of work. And when it came time to vote, the public proved once again that charisma without production doesn't lead to all-star status. It leads to memes.
She has energy, she has an attitude, she'll rebound you the basketball. Great. Nothing else. She has nothing. She's got self-awareness. She knows that she's not a very good basketball player.
While Angel Reese struggled to climb into the all-star conversation, a wave of rising talent passed her by without looking back. Kiki Iriafen, a rookie putting up double-doubles with ease, earned over 213,000 votes, more than Reese, with fewer headlines and far less media backing. Lexi Hull, once overlooked in national coverage, surged up the ranks with consistent two-way play. Kelsey Mitchell, Sabrina Ionescu, and even role players like Sutta Sabali landed higher in the fan voting. These weren't just names, they were producers. They didn't need documentaries, viral quotes, or branded nicknames to capture attention.
They continue to talk a good game instead of being about a good game. This is fan voting. This is literally vote for who you are a fan of. Vote for who you're a fan of, or vote for who you think is most worthy. Vote for who you're a fan of. Vote for who you think is most worthy. Vote for who you think are the stars in this league. Angel Reese fans, you guys aren't fans of her? You don't think she's most worthy? You don't think she's a star in this league?
They let the scoreboard and stat sheet do the talking. Meanwhile, Reese's promotional push became glaringly hollow. As new stars quietly built resumes game by game, the self-proclaimed Bayou Barbie found herself trailing behind a group that had simply shown up and delivered.
Lexi Hall, 217,000, and there is Kiki Iriafen, 213,500. She's averaging a double-double, a legit double-double, with a good field goal percentage. Angel Reese, well, wait a minute. I thought it was about you too. Everybody's watching because of me too, except everybody's not watching because of you too. I mean, guys, if the ratings ain't enough and the attendance ain't enough and what happened at LSU ain't enough and all this other stuff ain't enough to tell you where Angel Reese's place is, well, it's 13th place.
The All-Star ballot became a mirror, and what it reflected was undeniable. The league is moving forward, with or without the hype machines.
7, 8, 9 on the list are Kelsey Mitchell, Sabrina Ionescu, and Lexington Hull. The following 3 are Kiki Iriafen, Kelsey the Plumber, and Satu Sabali? You mean to tell me these unknowns are ranked ahead of the face of the league?
The moment that perfectly captured the unraveling came during a press conference when Angel Reese was asked if she still felt like the reason people were watching women's basketball. Her response? Next question. Just 1 year after boldly declaring that the spotlight was shining because of her, that silence echoed louder than any stat.
So even right down here, the mirror's calling out Angel Reese. As for Reese, one-time All-Star from last year, in a rookie season alongside Clark, who appears set to earn a second honor, has struggled in 2025. 23-year-old, notorious for her rebounding supremacy, averages 11 points, but the Sky are 3 and 8. And she's shooting like, I don't even know what she's at now. It's probably less than 35%.
The myth began to collapse under its own weight. Social media adoration didn't translate to performance. Endorsements didn't translate to efficiency. And when it came time to lead on the floor, the numbers showed hesitation, not dominance.
Not only is the self-proclaimed Barbie not in the lead, Angel Reese isn't even close to making the top 10.
Meanwhile, Clark didn't beg for attention. She earned it night after night. Fans saw the contrast and acted accordingly. Reese had become most visible low-percentage shooter in the league, surrounded by buzz yet producing few basketball moments worth remembering. The disconnect between image and output widened with every game. And for the first time, the gap between what the media sold and what the fans saw was impossible to ignore.
Let's see, fan voting runs through the 28th. Culmination of fan voting, 50%. Player votes, 25%. And media votes. Oh, that's going to be where Angel Reese makes her move. Media votes, 25%, will determine the All-Star starters. Looking right at you, CBS, you still ain't released the rating.
Angel Reese's tumble in the All-Star vote wasn't just a temporary setback. It was a direct challenge to how stars are being manufactured in the modern WNBA. For months, the league's official accounts pushed her highlights, interviews, and slogans like clockwork. But that marketing engine ran headfirst into a wall called reality. Reese didn't just fail to crack the top 10. She was leapfrogged by rookies with less exposure and more impact.
Nafisi Collier, who is probably the leader of the MVP pack right now, is at 485,000. Aliyah Boston is third, 447,000, as she should be. Aliyah should get some MVP conversation, I'm going to be honest.
Fans rejected the idea that image alone defines greatness. They chose Clark's full-court vision over social media volume. They backed Boston's two-way dominance over one-dimensional hustle. Reese was sold as a phenomenon, but delivered as a stat line liability. It's not personal, it's basketball. This is a league where fans study shooting percentages, defensive rotations, and box scores just as much as they react to branding. And when a player doesn't measure up, no amount of viral quotes can rewrite the stats.
I know Kelsey Plum is likable. She's a lovely lady, but you mean to tell me she's more popular than Angel Reese? The same Angel Reese who has been begging, and I mean begging, people on social media to vote for her? Angel Reese, number 13 on the list, 173,000 votes.
This vote was a reality check, one that the WNBA and its marketing machine can no longer ignore. When the dust settled, the fans didn't just vote. They sent a message that echoed through every arena and newsroom. Hype doesn't equal greatness. Angel Reese may have been crowned the face of the WNBA by marketing teams and media campaigns, but that crown was made of paper. The real gold lies in production, in earned respect, in nights where stats speak louder than slogans. The All-Star vote exposed a harsh truth. Fans don't want to be told who to admire. They want to choose based on who delivers.
Didn't shoot a single free throw. Although she did have 12 rebounds, her average, which does lead the league. But a couple of times Angel drove it and flung up just these wild shots from 3 or 4 feet that missed the rim by, 3 or 4 feet. Just looked so ridiculously awkward, like she'd never even played basketball.
Caitlin Clark didn't ask for headlines. She created them. She didn't claim a legacy. She built one. Reese, meanwhile, stood as a symbol of everything fans have grown tired of: surface-level promotion without substance.
These numbers are 100% accurate, and Angel Reese is the 13th most popular player in the WNBA. This probably means she will not be a starter in the All-Star game, which would make sense because Angel Reese shouldn't be a starter for a regular season game.
The myth collapsed under the weight of facts, and now the league stands at a crossroads. Will it continue to manufacture stars, or will it finally start rewarding the ones who earn it? Like, subscribe, and comment. Game over for the gimmicks if consistency matters more than commercials. Because this vote didn't just reshape the All-Star lineup, it redrew the entire WNBA power map.